On September 29th, a deadly crash took the life of a young Indianapolis man. Now, almost 2 weeks later, the family has more questions than answers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Only on WRTV, our Kelsey Anderson speaks with the family of Rashid Conteh. They say the investigation wasn't thorough and they want to see justice served.
Rashid Conteh's family is devastated and heartbroken over the loss of the 22-year-old, the heart of their family. He was killed in a deadly crash at 24th and Delaware in the early morning hours of September 29th. His family says Indianapolis Metro Police failed him by not properly investigating the crash and not immediately holding the at-fault party accountable.
Rashid was the heart of our family. Rashid never met a stranger. He lit up the room with his smile.
In the early morning hours of September 29th, Beth Pope received a call she'll never forget.
It's every parent's worst nightmare.
Her 22-year-old son had died in a crash. His older brother, Nelson Conteh, was also injured.
I don't remember getting hit. I just remember a forceful impact such that I can't even describe how. It was almost like I was in another world for a second.
The brothers were in a lift on their way home from a concert downtown when a car ran a stop sign, slamming into their ride. Nelson says after getting himself out, he dragged his brother out of the smoking car.
I'm screaming my head off and I'm saying, Rashid, wait, keep awake, just hitting him, just making sure, and he's kind of in and out.
Nelson tells me his brother was rushed to Eskenazi Hospital, where he died soon after arriving. On October 7th, Rashid Soare Conteh was laid to rest. They'll mourn his life forever, but say there's a new battle ahead for their family.
We want to make sure that there's justice in his killing and make sure that the person responsible for his death is held accountable.
They say Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department made several mistakes in their investigation of the crash.
What we've learned is the police didn't do what they were supposed to do by law at the scene.
According to the crash report filled out by Officer Gunnar Gossett, no field sobriety tests were done on the driver that slammed into the lift. State code calls for, quote, a law enforcement officer shall offer a portable breath test or chemical test to any person who the officer has reason to believe operated a vehicle that was involved in a fatal accident or an accident involving serious bodily injury.
It's the mistakes that were made, we can't correct them now. They can't be corrected. And somebody should have consequences for that as well.
On top of that, Rashid's family claims even minor details were missed.
He could not even spell my son's name correct. He did not even have the addresses correct. He paid no attention to the details of the accident.
Because of this, Rashid's family says they fear the driver, with a criminal record that includes drug charges, won't be held accountable. Connor Gaskill of Pendleton was driving the car that slammed into them. In the official crash report, it states Gaskill didn't remember what happened. He was released at the scene.
So we are starting to think, is this because it's related to a police detective in Madison County? Is it because his uncle is some state representative? We don't know. We don't know how he went home.
State Senator Mike Gaskill's office reached out to us wanting to clarify that relationship. His office says the senator and Connor are distant cousins, and the two have not been in contact for over a year, adding, quote, he is not his nephew. According to an article published by the Herald Bulletin in 2014, Gaskill is the son of a Madison County detective, Keith Gaskill.
It's not the first time he's killed somebody and been at fault, so it's just another one for him to carry, but this one, that was my brother.
According to that same 2014 article, Gaskill was involved in a deadly accident when he was 16. The article says he was following too closely when he rear-ended a car, sending them into oncoming traffic and killing a motorcyclist. Gaskill was cited with a Class C traffic infraction in that case.
We're furious. We're going to fight like hell, and, we're going to make sure these people that they have to be accountable for the way they handled this.
I reached out to Connor Gaskell via email and haven't heard back. Keith Gaskell works for the Anderson Police Department. He called me from out of the country to say he's sympathetic to anyone who's lost a son, as he knows what it's like to have questions. He went on to tell me he would caution anyone to connect him or APD to this investigation. Rashid's family is hoping to honor him in his home country of Sierra Leone. You can learn more about that right now at WRTV.com.
And late this afternoon, IMPD sent this statement on the crash. IMPD is currently conducting an internal investigation into the initial response and the actions of the officers who responded to the scene to ensure proper procedures were followed. IMPD remains committed to transparency and accountability as it serves the community.